Alright, what's going on, everyone? So, just wanted to kind of pop in, give you guys a bit of a heads up. Right now, we are doing shakedown runs on the Beast, on the Amber Beast. This truck has been sitting mothballed for about 2 years now, between gas prices and just stuff failing on it. Some of you may know about how like aftermarket parts and stuff with older vehicles it's not always the best. So right now I'm driving through some neighborhoods. I'm heading and just driving around town, trying to see if anything needs to be fixed, replaced, or repaired. And it's kind of just one of those things where it hasn't run in so long. I want to make sure that we actually give it some time to get back on the road before I decide to just off and head to the mountains by myself. Because for a lot of what I'm going to be doing coming up, it's probably just going to be me, and I want to make sure I have a reliable rig. Now, granted, I'm not just going out there idiotically with no way to communicate at all. My phone gets decent service in most areas out there, but I do have a CB radio, and I know the channel that the logging companies run on that are out in that area, and I can usually pick up a good chunk of them. Now, as far as just getting this thing solid again, that's the trick. For anyone that's curious, or anybody that's a gearhead as well, this is an 85 GMC K2500 that I've had now for over 10 years. I've done a full engine rebuild on this thing twice, actually. The first one, I listened to someone that was supposedly a master mechanic, and it didn't go too well. It did not like to put down power, it did not like to run reliably, and I couldn't get rid of knocking and slapping and everything else. It just kept acting up. I then sent it off to a shop that I thought was a reputable shop, at least the person. Now granted, a lot of people will say, well, that was stupid of you, but they were running it out of their home as a home business, but the head mechanic there that ran the thing used to be a really good tech. I'm not so sure where he's at now. He kind of dumped this and my other project back on me and left it. So I said, screw it, sold the other project because it was too far gone for me. I couldn't afford to fix both of them. When you get back your pickup truck and your show car in pieces, it's kind of hard to stick with the show car as well. So what I ended up doing was ripping the engine out of this thing, tearing the transmission out, sent the transmission off to get built, and rebuilt the engine. Now it did need to get bored 30 over, so this engine's on its last rebuild. The block itself is. It is technically a 355 Chevy small block with blueprint engine aluminum heads, flat top pistons with relief cuts, so it's a high compression engine. I have to run premium in this thing, which is also another reason that it sat for 2 years. Premium in Washington State was pushing that $5 a gallon line, and we currently have the third most expensive gasoline in the nation. But it has come down enough to a point where I can drive this, as well as my other mountain rig needs a lot more work than this thing did. So this thing's just getting that basic shakedown rundown to see if we're going to be good. I mean, cruising right now, honestly, especially for all four leaf spring all the way around, thing is, it's purring like a kitten. It's just cruising. I mean, I barely got my foot on the gas, and it's maintaining speed, and I can't complain too much, honestly. Threw a new fuel pump in it, got that swapped out. It wasn't even holding 8 psi. Went to get a fuel leak checked on it, and I couldn't find the fuel leak, and the fuel leak was one of the return lines from the pump. And when the tech I took it to pulled it apart, the switch valve for the tanks, because this thing has saddle tanks. I got 2 tanks on this truck. The switch valve decided that it was going to disintegrate, and so it ended up getting a new switch valve. It's got a new fuel pump. It's got some new soft line, and it should be good to go. Checked the wheels, tires, brakes, all that kind of stuff. Went over the whole thing. It's got your standard oil leaks, just like any old pickup does. Just some of the gaskets here and there, a little bit worn, but tightened them up. They seem to be doing really good. The engine, granted, is not as pretty as the pictures that you saw anymore. I do need to do a good detail and steam clean on it and see if I can get it back to the diamond that it used to be when I first rebuilt it. But this thing, it's been there. I used to have a 94 Wrangler, and the 94 Wrangler went into the back end of a Suburban. And then after I wrecked my Jeep, I was having issues trying to find a vehicle, and my cousin was selling it, and my grandfather says, hey, pay me back, I'll get this for you. You need a rig to get back and forth, and you've always loved those old trucks. Let's get you this truck. And I paid back my grandpa for the most part. One day he just came to me for my birthday and just said, hey, don't worry about paying me back. I'll just count it as paid off. You've dumped so much time and money into keeping it running and having it running that I don't want to take any more of your money. I feel like you've spent more than what I paid for it, keeping it running on top of paying me, and you've done really well, so the truck is yours. He used to have an 86 Silverado 2500 when I was a kid that we'd roll around in all the time, and so this truck is kind of one of those. It was my grandpa's truck. It was my cousin's, but it was like one of those. It was my grandpa's truck. So this thing ain't going nowhere. This thing's going to be the workhorse. It's going to be the beast that it always has been. Well, I haven't forgotten about my YouTube. I'm not going ghost. I just need to make sure to get the shakedown done on this thing and make sure it's going to be reliable up in the hills. And we need to find a new spot for some of our shenanigans. The stuff that I have planned, can't really do it on an indoor range, and not many of the ranges around here have flat pits, and even if they do have flat pits and will let me use a flat pit, the shenanigans that I have planned and that I want to pull off, I think they won't be too happy doing on their range. I will be safe. I will make sure all the precautions are met. I'll do all the stuff that needs to be done. Yeah, it's just, you got to find a spot in the mountains sometimes. Plus, I've never really liked going to actual established ranges around here. Congress here in the state of Washington, as you guys saw from my last videos, have made it nothing but a headache and a pain to own and operate ranges, and a lot of our ranges are owned by older generation that just don't want to necessarily update to the more modern stuff. A couple of them I have noticed have been posting more of the updated things, but yeah, this kind of stuff, I feel like it's going to be one of those, I need my own personal property, or I need to find some Bureau of Land Management areas that I can go out and actually run and gun and do the stuff that I want to do and have fun doing it. You know, if you're in Washington, you know that they have rules at all our ranges. It's, you know, 1 round every 3 seconds, no rapid fire, no mag dumps. Make sure that you're on target 100% of the time. You know, you can't just mag dump it into a berm just to test the trigger or the function of the cycling. They don't like that. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's just where we're at. So I just wanted to hop on, let you guys know that. Catch you on the next one.